Keystone State Park, an unexpected haven born from the roar of Pittsburgh's steel mills. The now state park conceals a fascinating past. Picture this, the clamor of industry giving rise to the serene landscapes we now hike, hunt, fish, and explore. In 1909, the Keystone Coal and Coke Company, driven by the need for coke to fuel steel production, carved out a slice of nature at the confluence of McCoon and Davis Runs. Here, they crafted Keystone Lake. The lake's water used to cool coke ovens nearby, its waters flowing through wooden pipes, a silent witness to the industrial hustle. Executives, not just confined to boardrooms, found solace on Keystone Lake shores for fishing, swimming, and boating. A stone lodge, now the James A. Kell Visitor Center, stood witness to executive meetings and family vacations. Imagine the lodge's walls echoing with stories of both business and leisure. 1938 brought forth Salem No. 2 Mine, a testament to the relentless pursuit of resources in the area. Miners, navigating tunnels on hands and knees, worked tirelessly all the way up until 1953 when the mines eventually closed, leaving behind a sealed entrance near Pavilion No. 2. And then, in 1945, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, recognizing the potential for a different kind of legacy, acquired the lake, lodge, and surrounding land. The park, a living history book, reflects this shift, showcasing mining artifacts and natural wonders. Now, as we embark on this episode of Maksim Outdoors, let the rich history of Keystone State Park be our guide through time. Discover the echoes of industry and the whispers of nature converging in this captivating journey. Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Maksim Outdoors. And as you've probably already seen in the thumbnail and the title, we are here at Keystone State Park, one of the closer state parks to my home, and kind of a big deal. This is actually state park number 30 for Maksim Outdoors in Pennsylvania. So slowly but surely, we're checking them off. And yeah, nice view here early in the morning along the shores of Keystone Lake, looking down towards the dam. Another thing is, it is January 7th, so this marks the first time that got out and hiked this year. So currently with hiking with Ricky, you can see him over on top of the hill there. We're going to be doing about 8 miles today and showing you all around Keystone State Park and telling you a little bit about the history here. So yeah, one more look at Keystone Lake before we hit the trail. All right, well, a little further down the trail from where we started, but as I said earlier, we are out here with none other than hiking with Ricky, Chris, Smoke, his trail name. You probably know him from the Minister Creek videos as well as the Girard Trail, but we're back here, excited to do yet another state park for the new year, right?
Yeah, first hike of the new year. Happy 2024, everybody.
Right on. So we actually hiked this park probably about 2 or 3 years ago in the entirety. I probably said it in the beginning, but there's around 8 miles of trail. Not the most spectacular state park in Pennsylvania. There's really no overlooks, vistas, waterfalls, but we're gonna make the best of it and try to show you the highs of Keystone. And yeah, that's about it. So you ready to do some hiking?
Let's go.
On this brisk January morning. So one last look at Keystone Lake before we start the first trail here. So let's get going. Well, one of the first wildlife IDs of the year, 2 bald eagles. I don't know how well you guys can see it on the camera phone. If you look, there's 2 white specks. I'll try to point right there. 2 bald eagles. So first ID of 2024 here at Keystone. Not a bad start to the year. All right, well, we are still hiking along the very scenic Maksim Trail and still gaining a little bit of elevation. We headed through this pretty cool pine thicket, as you can see behind me, and I figured now would be a good time to talk a little bit about the history here at Keystone State Park. So this park is relatively old in terms of some of the other Pennsylvania state parks, established back in 1945, but the history, like so many other state parks, goes back further than that. So rewind back to the early 1900s. Back in 1907, I believe it was, the Keystone Coal and Coke Company came out here and decided that this area was prime to do some coal mining. So just where I'm standing below me are hundreds of miles of mine tunnels that they would have extracted bituminous coal, and I'm glad I didn't screw up saying that. So yeah, they would have came to this area, dug up all this coal, and from what I understand, they sent it down to cities like Pittsburgh to help fuel the steel industry. Another nice view of some of these pines in front of me here. So they would have built a lake back in 1907. They needed a way to basically wash off the coal to make coke to send down to cities like Pittsburgh, like I said. So they built the lake back in 1907. The mining operation was going strong until about the late 1930s, when it eventually closed up. And then in 1945, the state stepped in and purchased this entire area and made it a state park. So this is one of the rare instances of a Pennsylvania state park not really having any involvement with the CCC. So a little bit different. A lot of the structures look different compared to other state parks, just because the CCC wasn't involved out here. But we're going to be going by the old lodge that the Keystone Coal and Coke Company would have built back in the day. They would have had their meetings there, like hunting retreat as well. So we'll see some of the remains of that. But yeah, beautiful day. Another one of these pine forests here. Pretty awesome with all the snow. So that is your little history update on Keystone State Park. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we head on down the trail here. So. Well, we came in search of beavers today, and I will say from the last time we hiked this trail, this is probably the most interesting area of the trail. And I think I even mentioned that it was pretty flooded last time we came out here. And as you can see, no different today, especially after all the snow we've gotten over the last 24 hours. But this is all due to beavers. I don't really see any gnaws as of standing here right now, but definitely a pretty interesting little, I guess, wetland, we'll call it. So we're going to be traversing through here and be heading back towards the lake. So nice little look at the beaver dam area, we'll call it. Yep. Here's Chris attempting a daring crossing of one of the beaver dams here. Alrighty folks, well, as you see, we have made it to the other side of the bridge. We started the Davis Run Trail, I believe it was called, on that side, kind of navigated our way up into the hills, and you can see where Chris is. We just came through there. So we're gonna take a little lunch break, I think, do a time lapse or two, hang out here, and I wanna say we have 2 trails left to do today. So Chris isn't having the best of the day. Best of a day, his GoPro's having some issues, but we'll see if we can push on through and get 2 more trails done and make one big video out of this. So another view of Keystone Lake, built back in the early 1900s. This was all built to fuel the coal industry, believe it or not. They had some wooden pipes that would run, I think it was like 2 miles, to coke ovens to cool down the coal that was extracted all throughout the hills here. So pretty interesting history, but yeah, we're gonna head on down here and hang out for a couple minutes. And that will conclude the pine trail. I think that might have taken us 5 minutes. I'd be surprised if that was even a half of a mile. But we're back on, I think this might just be called the lake trail here. I'm not sure. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we'll be hiking by some of these cottages and cabins here. And right around where we are is right where those bald eagles were earlier. So we'll keep our eye out. You can see some of the yurts up ahead. I'll get you a better shot of that. But I think the next kind of point of interest that we're going to be seeing today is the old stone cabin. So we'll see you there. Alrighty, well, we just made it through the campground, showed you some of the camping spots as well as the cottages and yurts. And just behind me here is the old stone cabin that I mentioned earlier. So this would have been built back in the early 1900s and kind of like the headquarters of the Keystone Coke and Coal Company. So they would have brought the workers up here, maybe sent them out to the mines. And pretty crazy to think that under our feet right now are hundreds of miles of coal mines. Pretty crazy. They said it's just like a catacomb down there. It looks like a beehive. So we're gonna check this out for a little bit, get some B-roll, and maybe show you some signs. But this also marks the area that we're gonna catch the last trail, which is just on the other side of the lot here. I think it's called the Old Stone Cabin Trail or something along those lines. Stone Lodge Trail. Okay. So yeah, this is the Stone Lodge. So all right, well, we're standing just off the side of the lodge here. This is probably one of the cooler places to stop by if you're ever out in Keystone. You got a nice little plaque here with all the history, kind of telling you about all the coal that was extracted from the hills here back in 1909. They came to this area, and about 30 years later, coal mining began beneath the park. You can see some of the workers as well as this old wagon that was used in one of the two main mines here, Salem 1 and Salem 2. I believe Salem 1 was sealed somewhere out in this park, but pretty crazy, you know. This is all right where we're standing. This looks like something out of the Wild Wild West. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out here for a couple more minutes and hit the trail. Pretty cool up here. Well, other than some snow and some giant oak trees, not too much to see on this trail, but we can say we've made it to the highest point now. So we're at the junction where the yellow trail meets the blue, and we're gonna start descending now. And I think the next time we see you, we'll be down on the dam, and we'll be wrapping this video up here. So yeah, one last look at the Stone Lodge Trail here before we start heading on down. We're almost there. Well, just real quick before we wind down the video, here is the decently sized man-made waterfall here right off of the dam. We're going to try to make it down there and give you kind of a different perspective, but kind of cool to wrap up the video here. So make my way down and hopefully not break my ankle. Alrighty, well, we saved the best for last, and as you can probably hear behind me, we have made it here to what I'm calling Keystone Falls. And as you can see, you kind of make out the old foundation from back when the coal company would have came here and formed this lake. This is the original dam. And yeah, what a better place to wrap up this January hike than by a waterfall. So that's going to be it. State Park number 30 in the books for Maksim Outdoors. Also, don't forget to check out Hiking with Ricky. He's up there, but check out his channel. Great guy, great YouTube. You'll like his videos. So yeah, signing out from Keystone Falls here at beautiful Keystone Park. All right, we'll see you next week.